Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the 212A, it's the Tier 9 Soviet SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Pearl River and it's under the command of Oxagon, and he's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel. So this should be a fun game. He's in platoon with Deep Knight and H-Squared. Okay, game on. Deep Knight is also in the ENJ0Y clan. H-Squared's not, though. He's actually in the Animal clan. Anyway, we're headed to the back of the cap area rather than actually go up to anywhere else, because there's precious few places you can move on this map and avoid enemy fire. So it's just a case of playing a guessing game with the enemy Arty, because they'll more than likely get to know where you are eventually. He's aiming into the village, and then one of the enemy tanks has already made their way in there. It's a T-49, so he's anticipating the guys somewhere in that area. Oh, spotted someone. A Progetto. Dialed in, rounds out. Oh, that was a good hit. 228, but he got the stunt assist immediately afterwards, and that's probably going to lead to that tank being taken out. And in fact, yes, he did take some more damage and he died. So there you go. Progetto 65 is out of the game. Oh, but that T-49 tried to dismount from the village and crashed into the ground in the process. So that's a good start, because they've now 2 enemy tanks down. The next shot hits the Chieftain P, which as we now know is the fake chieftain. Yes, they put some fake chieftains into the game at tier 9. All part of the current program, I think, the current mode. Okay, STB1. Trying to sneak up the left side of the map. Rounds out. 219. Not a lot, but it was close enough to actually splash him. We don't have a lot of troops, a lot of tanks on the west side of the map, actually. That's a bit of a problem. Although I should say that we do have some tanks guarding the area. I'm a bit worried, actually, because there's a Striv 103B back at our cap area. It looks like he's AFK, and now we've got enemy tanks headed straight for us. But he can't see them. There we go. He sees them now. Line him up. Rounds out. Oh, big hit. 384. But they're getting so close now that, well, we're going to have to move. A standard B came back to try and help us. But if we don't get out of here soon, and unfortunately the GW-E100 on our team is not particularly fast, but he's very big. It's going to make him a fairly easy target for the enemy tanks if they arrive, and we're expecting an STB-1 and a T-54 to turn up. Meanwhile, we've got a Cobra unloading his magazine, and we're about to unload on him. Oh! Shell went right over the top of him and exploded further down that ridge line. That did not help us. It's not so much of a ridge line, actually. It's part of the rock that stands out there. So we still have a large number of enemy tanks on the west side of the map. But the good news is that our guys have dealt with the other enemy elsewhere on the map, and the scores are even at the moment, and some of our guys are coming over to try and help, including our teammate in the E50, H-Squared. He's turning up. Okay, so we're looking a little further away. They just lost their STB-1. H-Squared got him. That was the STB-1 that the Oxagon was firing at earlier in the game. We're now aiming in the same general area where the T-54 and the Cobra were last seen. He's hoping he might get that Cobra. We've also got a couple of tanks inside the village. and they're looking out through the gaps, and they're being hit, and that's what's hitting them, the Cobra. And yes, that was a hit. 104 from that one from Splash. Slows him down on the reload because he must be on reloading right now. And there's the other Cobra. He's popped up instead. Remember, those are autoloaders with an oscillating turret, but they only have 4 shells, I believe. So once they've fired their shells, they are vulnerable. And that's a direct hit. So that Cobra took that round. And remember, Cobras don't have a whole lot of armor. They are fairly weak on armor. They rely on their firepower to actually keep the enemy at bay. So I suspect that Cobra is almost as bad as this one right now when it comes to damage. He's at 334. Now he's down to 253. He's a one shot. And he does go down to H squared, who takes a nice kill. And things are looking much better now for us. Death Knight's brought his Doom Turtle around. Oh, nice. He actually hit the Foch B over the other side of the battlefield. And we're getting some stun assist off that one as well. So it looks like the enemy is, although they've still got a large number of tanks, they've still got 9 tanks out there. And that could turn the battle either way. But it looks like they are being gradually hammered back into their own area. Rounds out. He changes course. But he still gets splashed and stun assist. So nearly 2.5k of stun assist so far. And now that Cobra is getting attacked by our teammate Death Knight. In fact, now it's H squared and Death Knight are the ones leading the charge on the west side of the map. It's a good job that we did have some help, because that Striv 103B has not moved. He's still there where he started, so it looks like he's an AFK. And oh, that was a big hit there. And the Batchat is now a kill shot. Oh yes, he got him. The Batchat 155.55 just got taken out by Oxagon. Direct hit. He didn't have much in the way of hit points. He was in the wrong place on the map as well. I think he may have gone up that direction to try and support his teammates, or maybe because it was just too hot to fight around their cap area. There are only 5 enemy remaining now. And one of those is an AFK, or rather is an AFK. No, he's not an AFK, he's a blue player. So he's actually damaged his own teammates and he's gone blue. Team killer. He also happens to be an Arty, so maybe he was deliberately shooting at his own teammates. Rounds out. Oh, another good hit shot. 152 off that one. The enemy is really starting to be compressed into their corner. Unfortunately, we did lose. I think we've lost. Have we lost Death Knight? No, he's still there. It's just his icon was being masked by H squared's E51, and it wasn't showing both of them together. So they were both moving together at the same time. But they're both still in the game. In fact, Death Knight's got 2 kills. H squared's got 2. And the enemy now have only got 3 tanks left, including 1 Arty. And that's the Arty that's turned blue. Rounds out in the Kunstpanzer. Long shot. And he's still got damage at long range. And there's the kill shot that goes in on the Kunstpanzer by the GWE, who's still in the game. And that means the only enemy remaining is their GWE, and he gets taken out by the 121B, and that is the end of the game. Here's the end of the first battle, and it was an ace tanker for Oxagon in the 212A. He managed to get a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he ended up with 9. And he got a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And we can see that. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in this one. Note that actually went to the Object 140 on our team, 4,072 hit points. Second highest damage was the Cobra on our team with 3,397. And the third highest on damage was H2. He managed to get 3,241 hit points in his E50. We can also see that Death Knight managed to get 2,324. And when it came to Oxagon, where are you? There you are. And he managed to get 2,524. Let's have a look at the number of kills. And we can see a lot of players shared 2 kills apiece. The 121B, Death Knight and his T95, the Wizzy 111 Model 14, the E50 of H2, and the Cobra. Unfortunately, in this case, Oxagon only got the 1 kill, but that actually did help him to get the Confederate. And on the enemy team, they only had 2 players who managed to get 2 kills, and that was the Charfuge U4 and their Cobra. When it came to base XP, it's Oxagon who did the best. Yes, he was actually hitting enemy tanks, which were then being struck by his teammates. So yes, he was picking up the extra stun assist off that one. 1,070 went to Oxagon, 1,043 went to H2, and 906 went to the 121B, with Death Knight getting 842, not far behind. He fired 13 rounds in this game, got 4 direct hits on the enemy, and 2 penetrations. Now, I'll be very surprised actually to see who they are. Oh, right, well, he penetrated one of the Cobras, and I suspect that might have been that round, the blind shot round that he fired in, that we saw hit the Cobra. And I did say at the time that I suspect that guy had very low hit points because Cobras don't have a lot of armor. The other one he penetrated was the Batchat 155-55, and again, they don't have much in the way of armor either. So very good job with those 2. Let's go back to the detail. He also got 8 splashes, damage of 2,524 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 1, and he got 3,181 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. So combined damage is 5.5k, not bad at all. When it came to credits, he earned 36,963 from the battle, 16,634 from battle payments, 77,623 altogether, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, he took away 32,793 credits. 1,070 XP, 241 for playing in a platoon, and 1,846 experience points altogether. So quite a good battle, in fact, very good battle if you've got an ace tanker out of it and a Confederate. So a good start to today, but it wasn't the only replay that Oxagon sent in. Yes, he's been posting a couple of replays every other night on our page to show us he's keeping up his skill. Of course, we're always willing to or happy to see them so that we can actually then get a quick video out of it. And let's have a look at the second replay. The second game also features H2, and he's still in his E50, but this time round we're on the west spawn of the airfield map. The 212A, a conversion of the KV-220 that never came about, although it probably would have been quite a good Arty if you think about it, because yes, it's enclosed, which means you can get vents, which improve the performance of the crew, but also protects them. A lot of Arty back in the day, back in the Second World War, were actually fairly hazardous to the crews because they were in open air, and if the enemy counter battery, then they would actually feel the force of those shells coming in, and yes, it could be quite nasty for them. Well, Oxagon's gone directly to the back of the map, and he's now lining up on the Temple Mount to start with, hoping that H2 will see somebody and get as a target. And he has got us a target, an E50. We're lining up behind him. He pulls back, rounds out, looks good. It is 316 straight away. And it looks like we've got a couple of other tanks turned up, and H2 got stunned there, but we've got a Chieftain and a Concept 1B have moved in ahead of him to try and get shots on that E50M. We've landed in a tier 10 game this time round with tier 9 tanks in it. So we're bottom tier. Rams out. Landed short. Now, one of the good things about the 212A is the fact that it does have a lot of shells. You start with 40, and that means you've got plenty of capacity to keep going. One of the bad things about this Arty, though, is that it actually has a very narrow arc of fire. Only 4 degrees either side of the center line, which means that every time you adjust, you end up having to dial in on target again. Oh, good solid hit there on the T57 Heavy, but we did lose our Concept 1B when he took him out, the autoloader. H2's having to come over to cover that corner. And the AMX M451's gone round the top, round the rock, but look at this, he's pushing forward the T57 Heavy. I think he's still in reload, so we might be able to get a shot into him to stun him and enable H2 to get some damage. Rounds out. Good hit. Another solid hit, 358. That enables H2 to get a couple of shots in while he's stunned. The AMX M451's also taking the opportunity, and you can see Oxagon's already starting to pick up stun assist. And that T57 Heavy's thrown caution to the wind. He's gone, but I'm afraid H2 did take a few hits there. Mind you, the enemy did lose another tank in that area. They lost the ST1. H2 is still about. He's just on the other side of Temple Mount. We're looking now just on the other side of Temple Mount, the far side. There's an E50M around this area. We did see him. Our STB1's moving up. Oh, is that the E50? No, it's not. It's an M46 pattern. Trying to sneak up. Uses gun depression. It landed short, but I'm not so sure that that wasn't close to the pattern, because he did look like he was moving towards that point at the moment the shell landed. You have to expect a few shells that are fired in that particular direction are going to hit the ridgeline instead of hitting the target. They've got one Wizzy over there which could be taken out. A Wizzy 1 Live Model 5A. Very low on hit points. There's the E50M. He's lining up behind his path as he retreats. Rounds out, looks good. Yes! Another good hit. You notice how Oxagon actually aimed ahead of its retreat. So he could see the E50M was pulling back, and he lined up the shot so the guy would just drive straight back into it, and he took the shell as he was retreating. But now H2 is in trouble. He's being attacked by this M46 pattern who's pumping 105mm rounds into him. And H2 is now very low. He just got stunned by the enemy Arty. And Oxagon responds to that and puts one into the pattern. He picked up 325 off that, but H2's having to pull back because he is a one-shot now for that pattern. The unfortunate thing is that that means that he probably won't be able to take on the pattern unless he comes too close. But he does have a Gorilla behind him, and that Gorilla might be able to help out. Rounds out in the Wizzy. And he splash kills him. Nice kill. But we just got spotted by the enemy Arty. You can see he flattened all of the bushes around us. So the enemy Arty worked out where we were. Probably got told by that pattern and the other tanks where the shells were coming from. We lost 23 hit points from a near miss. H squared is still in the game, but we've got the E50. We're lined up. Rounds out. And another solid hit, but it doesn't kill him. It leaves him on only a few hit points. And we're having to change position each shot now because the enemy Arty has an idea where we are. He'll be looking for the tracer. There's only 6 enemies left. The convoy's back near their cap area. Then we've got the Strip 103B. It can really help if we can put a round up there. We're almost loaded. Rounds out. Here we go. Well, 59 hit points is something. And now we need to move because there's that pattern. He came up onto the ridgeline there and it looked like it could almost see us. H squared is to the north of Temple Mount, whereas the pattern's to the south. And then there's that gorilla down below on the pass, and he just spotted that. The gorilla's trying to kill the cat pattern, and he does put a big hit. Now, can we get the kill shot? Unfortunately, we lose the gorilla. Line him up. Rounds out. Yes, he got the kill. Oxagon got the kill. He killed the M46 pattern, and that secures the south end of the map. We've got H squared in the middle, still alive, but very badly wounded. But the enemy are still there. They've still got 5 tanks. They're putting up a strong fight. And H squared is trying to get to close enough to he can actually hit some of the ones that have still got hit points. We're looking towards the back of the cap area. There was a convoy in this area. They also have a standard B, and they're guarding this area. We know they've got their Arty to the south. He's an M53, M55. That's the only Arty they've got remaining. They lost the other one, which was an FV3 805. Okay, H squared has stopped near the bottom of the cliff, near their cap area. I think he's worried about going up because there's a Foch and a Strip 103B, and their Strip just killed our Waffenträger. So we're looking in the general area where the convoy was last seen. Okay, their Foch is trying to make a dash across, so we covering the corner. Looks good. Rounds out, and it wings him. Stops him in place. T-57's going down to try and get the kill shot. I hope he's thought about that strip though. Everybody's got 4 shots, and we did get some stun assist, but the strip, it looks like he did get a hit on our T-57 heavy. And there's the convoy. Oh, and he just killed H squared. Unfortunate, he came around the corner from the bottom area of the cap, and he saw H squared at the base of the cliff and took him out. So now the scores are even. We've got 2 Arty on our team, GW Tiger and of course Oxagon in this 212A. And the enemy, well, they've only got 1 Arty. He has been active, but the worry is that they've got a good Strip 103B who's still fairly healthy. And last seen up on top of this hill. Oxagon's saying to the standard, please help, try and spot. We need to know where they are. He's also saying, I think, defend the Arties, or I think that may have been E50 who's actually saying that, H squared. And there's the convoy. Now we have a chance to get some revenge. He's backing up. Rounds out. I think that's going to miss, but did he get some hit points? Unfortunately, no. He's changed position just slightly. And there's the convoy. Oh, he got stunned. He did get stunned. And he's gone down, so that's some more stun assist. The kill shot there went to the T-57 Heavy and his autoloader. So whilst the standard B's guarding us, the Arty, the T-57 Heavy's the one that's going around doing the killing. I'd say the big problem's going to be that Strip 103B. We really need somebody to deal with him. The big concern's the standard B, because he could be to the south of the map, just where the convoy was, and trying to come around the south to get at both of the Arty. There he, the Shriv. And we know where the standard B is now, and a good solid hit, 441. Both Arty hit him, which makes him a one-shot. Even the standard B could probably take him out now. We're in reload. The Shriv just took a hit. The standard B got one into him, and he got the kill shot as well. Which means now there's only two left, the standard B and the M53, M55, who's to the south of the enemy cap area. So we're looking for the standard B. 257 going in. Hopefully he's got a full load in his magazine, ready to go. And there's the standard B. He's been seen at the back of the map. I think he's been hanging around there for most of the game. Rounds out, long flight time. But it's a hit, and another double hit from the GW. And he's out of the game. And that means now there's only the M53, M55 left. And we think he's in this corner. He's probably been here all game long. T57's going down there first. He's got 2 kills. Oxagon's got 2. H² got 2 kills as well during the game. Don't die. Don't jump into the water. Fight to the end. Give us a good game. And there's the drowned idiot. Yes, no need to do that. Just fight. Ram the enemy if you have to. So much fun. I must admit, it really disappoints me when I see an enemy RT drown himself rather than fight. Almost as much as in the past, where I used to hear the people call RTs derogatory names for killing themselves rather than fighting in the game. But what annoys me is it's such a waste. They can fight, they can ram the enemy to get some more hit points, and that's actually quite good fun. You actually charge towards the enemy at high speed. They've got to think about what they're going to do, because if they get it wrong, you're going to get some more hit points off them, and you might even kill them in the process, and that can be fun too. But that was an ace tanker game for Oxagon yet again in his 212A, and this battle took place not long after the last one. He also got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 11. And this time round, he got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle in damage. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in this game, he actually got the second highest damage in the game, because the Wizzy 111 Model 5A got 3,941 hit points from the enemy team, but he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool, so he didn't end up with a high caliber. The second highest damage went to Oxagon with 3,698, and the third highest damage went to the M53, M55 on the enemy team, the guy who drowned himself, which was such a mistake because he got 3,627 hit points, and he might have got some more if he'd actually tried to get a ram outfit as well, and that might have bumped him up on the score. But we can see that that T57 Heavy came in with 3,326 as well. So Oxagon managed to get the second highest damage, and then the M53, M55 managed to get the third highest damage. I'm afraid that, yes, we lost H² during the battle. He got 1,147 hit points. He took 2 kills off the enemy. The unfortunate thing was he did get rather badly mauled by the enemy T57 Heavy, who came over that ridgeline over Temple Mount, determined to take somebody out, and it kind of left H² short on ammo short on health for the rest of the game, especially after he got hit by the enemy Arty. If we look at the number of kills, we can see that it's actually shared between the standard B, who got 3 kills, the Striff 103B, who was a good player, he got 3, and their Conway, who got 3 kills but stayed at the back of the map. He was actually sniping from the back, wasn't really getting involved in the main battle during the game. 2 kills went to the T57 Heavy and to Oxagon. as well as the T110E3, the Object 268, H squared in his E50, and nobody on the enemy team managed to get 2 kills. So there's only 2 players who managed to get more than 2 kills, but nobody else managed to get at least 2 kills. The rest I've got 1 or nothing. And when it came to base XP, it's the standard B who came the top with 1,113. Oxagon managed 1,067, which means that he and the Prototypo standard B were the only 2 players who managed to get over 1,000 base during the game, with the T57 Heavy picking up the 3rd spot with 953, and H squared just after him as well, so he got 4th place. Oxagon fired 16 rounds, got 8 direct hits on the enemy and no penetration. So yes, he was getting good shots, really good shots to hit the target directly. And you notice how he was aiming. He was actually aiming behind the enemy as they were retreating. They just walked back into the shell, or drove back into the shell as they were pulling back, and it made it a superb direct hit. 15 splashes on the enemy as well, 3,698 hit points, all of it done at more than 300 meters. He did receive 1 hit by way of splash. The enemy Arty managed to work out generally where he was, but he didn't actually get it precisely right. He could see that the bushes that shells were coming out of the bushes, but he didn't aim in the right spot. And as a consequence, he managed to hit Oxagon, or splash him, but not close enough to actually kill him. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, 135 hit points of damage assistance, plus 1,471 hit points of stun assist off 13 stuns. He earned 34,764 credits on a premium count, got 15,644 from battle payments, and 73,005 credits altogether for the battle. After repair, ammunition resupply and consumables, he took away a profit of 21,752 credits for the game. 1,067 XP, 240 for playing in a platoon, and took away 1,841 experience points altogether. So 2 great games by Oxagon in his 212A. First on Pearl River, he picks up an ace tanker and a Confederate, and then on Airfield, he picks up an ace tanker and a Gauze medal this time. So he's either getting battle hero medals or he's getting epic medals in the games, but he certainly likes his 212A, and why not? Because it's a fun arty. It's can pump up those shells, and of course I do like the fact that we can use vents and vent purge to increase and improve the skill of our crews and get great shots like Oxagon did on Temple Mount. Very nice. I hope you enjoyed both of those replays. If you did, please give the video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.